Hey everyone, welcome to Patrick Dugan Music. Today we're going to learn how to play the first guitar solo in my new single, Starting Over. And that's what you just heard at the beginning of this video. So let's take a look. So this song is a blues in the key of F sharp. It's not exactly a minor key, it's more like F sharp dominant 7th. But we're going to be using a lot of the F sharp minor pentatonic scale, also the F sharp minor blues scale, along with the F sharp major blues scale a little bit. So without getting too hung up on the music theory, let me show you what I did here. So we start off with our index finger on 2nd fret string number 3, and our middle finger on 2nd fret string number 2, and the opening phrase is like this. Right, so I'm doing a little bend there with my index finger on string 3. Then I'm playing the note on string 2 right after. So I'm doing that a few times. Here it is again. Then I resolve to the F sharp, or the root note, and I put on a thick vibrato. Here it is one more time. Cool. Phrase number 2 is going to start here on the 4th fret, string 5. With our ring finger, we're going to slide from the 4th fret up to the 6th fret. Then we're going on to string number 4 with our index finger. And a little bend there at the end. Notice how I'm choking that bend off at the end of it. Here's phrase number 2 again. So I start with this little slide up. And I do that bend, and with my picking hand here, what I'm doing is I'm touching the string right at the tail end of that bend to stop the note from ringing. So that's how I'm choking that note out, is with my pick over here. I'm just touching the string there. Cool, so here's phrase number 2 again. And that's kind of a major pentatonic idea, or the major blues scale if you want to think about it like that. Coming into phrase number 3, we're going to go a little bit higher up the neck. I'm going to the 9th fret on string number 4, where I'm going to do kind of a giant bend. Typically we do most of our bending on strings 1, 2, and 3. So if I'm going to bend on string number 4, it's going to require a little bit more muscle power because this string is a thicker string. Right, so I'm going to go. So notice I'm using all 3 fingers there to sort of pull this string down, and it has to go down quite a bit. I let it come back, and I do a pull off there, and then I end up on the ring finger with some vibrato at the end. So this bend again goes like this. Right, in slow-mo I have the bend, I'm pulling down, releasing back to neutral, doing a pull-off, and then picking this note again and putting some thick vibrato on it. Okay, let's see if we can add phrases 1, 2, and 3 together so far. So remember, phrase 1 was down here. Here we go. 2, 3, go. Phrase 1. Phrase 2, slide up. Little bend that you choke there at the end. Go up to the 9th fret. This is kind of a big one. Pull off. Pick it again with some vibrato. Okay, moving on into phrase number 4. We're going to slide up into what is actually a B major triad. So I'm going to slide up here on string number 4 with my ring finger. This is the 11th fret into the 13th fret. So that's how I'm going to start this phrase. This is phrase number 4. I do this slide. Then it's going to be index finger on 11th fret, string 3. Middle finger, 12th fret, string 2. So all together I went. Cool. After that, I'm going to do a pull off on string number 3. This is going to be the 14th fret pulling off to the 11th fret on string 3. Right, so if I add this together, I slid up, then I do this pull off here. Up next comes a bend on string 3. This is going to be on the 13th fret. So I'm doing 13th fret to 11th fret. And then I'm going to come down and hit the 13th fret on string 4 right after that. So altogether, this phrase is going to be watch that one again. Cool. Moving on from there, we're going to do another bend on the 13th fret. So if you're looking at the tablature, I am on line 2 now of the tablature, and I am at the latter half of the first measure where there's another bend on 13. So this one is going to be a kind of a slow release with a pull off and then a pick and another pull off. So here it is again. Cool. Then I'm going to the 14th fret on string 2 where I'm going to do a double bend. I'm going to do a whole step bend and then a 1.5 step bend. Right? So the first one is like the distance of 2 frets and the second one is like the distance of 3 frets. So the first one's called the whole bend or a full bend. I go up and down, and then without picking the string again, I go up even higher into the 1.5 step bend. So altogether it's going to be like this. And then I let it kind of come down slowly there. Alright, so pausing there for a second, let's recap everything we have. We started off with phrase number 1, down here on the 2nd fret. Phrase 2, we slid up. Little bend that we choke. Go up to the 9th fret. We'll call this phrase 3. Then phrase 4 is at the end of the first line into the second line, and I'm going to slide in from the 11th fret here. That's how I get into that double bend there. So phrase number 4 is probably the most challenging so far. Here's how it all goes together without me talking over it. Okay, coming into phrase number 5 is going to be kind of a flurry of notes. I start here on the 12th and 14th fret on string 2, and I'm going to do this hammer-on pull-off slide to begin. Right, so I have my index fingers on the 12th fret. I'm hammering on the 14th fret, pulling off the 12th fret again, sliding over to the 10th fret. I only pick that string one time. Right, and that's going to be happening kind of quickly, so you're going to kind of do that quick hammer-on pull-off and slide your hand over at the same time. After you do that, we're doing another pull-off, 12 to 10. Right, so now it's going to be, if you put those two things together, right? The first one was 12, 14, 12 slide, and then an additional 12, 10 at the end. Here it is one more time. Cool. Our hand is going to slide over a little bit to the 7th and 8th frets So where we're going to end this phrase, we're going to do 8th fret string 3, and then 7, 9, 7 on string 2. And that's going to be kind of like a hammer-on pull-off with some vibrato at the end. Right, so this little run here that we just did starts on the 12th fret and it goes like this. Here it is one more time. Right, and I'm kind of cruising through that pretty quickly in this song, so I kind of just blast through that as fast as I can. So it might be a little bit sloppy at first. That's kind of okay. Your goal is going to be ending the phrase on this note, if you can, right? And kind of whatever happens here in the middle, whatever happens kind of happens, especially when you're learning the guitar. Don't sweat all of those little details too much. Try to make it from the beginning of the phrase to the end of the phrase on time. Cool, that's going to be your first priority there. After that, you can clean up the notes if you need to. Cool. Now there's one phrase left. To get out of here, we're coming back down to the 2nd fret, and we're going to be doing kind of like a Stevie Ray Vaughan style minor blues pentatonic run. So I'm going to have my index fingers on string number 1. It's actually on string numbers 1 and 2. I'm going to be kind of barring here. I'm going to pick string 1. Probably going to use an upstroke. And then I'm going to do a 5-2 pull-off with my ring finger on string 2. So I got... Cool, notice my index finger's just barring both of those strings so it doesn't have to move back and forth. I can just rest it there. And this is gonna be really, I'm gonna be able to do this really quickly because I'm doing that bar there and because I'm using a pull-off. Cool, after I do that, those 3 notes, I'm gonna slide on string number 3 from 5 to 4 and then pull off to 2. So this is gonna be... Right, so I just picked that at the beginning, and then it's a slide and a pull off. Cool, so now we have... And we're going to keep going down this scale. I'm going to do a pull off on string number 4 from the 4th fret to the 2nd fret. And I'm going to end with my ring finger on 4th fret string 5. So here's what it is. That's what we got so far. Okay, we're going to do a hammer-on from 2nd fret to 3rd fret on string number 4, and then play the 4th fret on string number 5 again. This kind of outlines the C sharp chord, which is the 5 chord in this progression. Don't worry about that too much if you don't know what that means. Basically, I'm just outlining one of the chords as they go by here. So this little lick was just a hammer-on, and then the ring finger. Cool, just a little bit left. Now we're going to do, with our middle finger and our ring finger, frets 3 and 4, I'm going to do a hammer-on pull-off. Then I'm going to do another one like that, frets 2 and 3, with my index and middle fingers. Then I'm going to go to string 6, do pinky finger on the 5th fret, index finger on the 2nd fret, ring finger, string 4, 4th fret. So this entire last run, or this entire last phrase, is starts up here on string number 1, and is going to be. Here it is again. Cool, and that's the end of the solo. Let's see if we can put it all together. Phrase number 1. Ready, go, is. Phrase number 2, we're sliding up on string 5. We choke that bend, go up to the 9th fret for a giant bend. Some thick vibrato there. Now we're sliding from the 11th into the 13th fret. Here comes the double bend on string 2. Then some hammer-ons and pull-offs. Then the last run back down on the 2nd fret. Here it is again in slow-mo without me talking over it. 3, 4. And here it is at the speed in the recording. 2, 3, 4. Cool, so that's it. Practice that phrase by phrase until you can put it all together. Just looking at the scales real quick, if we wanted to analyze which scales I'm using, this first thing would be like minor pentatonic. This next thing here would be like major pentatonic or major blues. This would be back to kind of like minor. Then I'm outlining a B major triad here. And when I do this pull-off, it makes it B dominant 7. Right? Then I have this bend, which this is kind of like major pentatonic again. Then we hang out here for a second. Then when I come back into this, right, that's going to be kind of like minor pentatonic again. And then I do this fill here. Which starts off sounding kind of like minor pentatonic, and then it resolves major pentatonic. Then I come back down and I hit this sort of blues run. Kind of reminds me of like a Stevie Ray type of a run. That one's using the blue note quite a bit. When I slide over here, this note here on the 5th fret is the blue note. And then also again down here when I do this run, this note that I'm playing around with again is the blue note right there. So remember that the blue note is going to be the flat 5th or the sharp 4th of whatever scale and key you're in. In this case, we're in the key of F sharp. And that blue note is going to be this C natural here. Cool. Now there's a second guitar solo that happens later on in the song. I'll do a separate video for that, as well as a separate video that explains the chord progression that this song is using, because it's not a standard 12-bar blues progression. It's a little bit different. Also, if you're interested in learning the guitar, or you're just starting out, I put together a free quick start guide for you that has 12 easy guitar lessons in it. Just follow the link below and I'll email you a copy. Also, if you're interested in learning more about blues guitar or advanced concepts like music theory and improvising guitar solos, be sure to check out my website where I offer private lessons for guitar, ukulele, voice, songwriting, and more. And last but not least, I would love to connect with you a little bit further. If you visit my website, punch in your email address and I'll send you my next single before it's even released. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll see you next time.
So I wasted some time. I said I'll do it someday. Lord, now that I'm older, it's slipping away. One time. So then I got lonely, started feeling real sad, lost all the perspective.